good, Commanders fans? This probably will be a very quick video. Like I always say, but they end up being like 10, 15 minutes. I do kind of want to read some other comments from my previous videos because I know a lot of people are down on free agency so far, other than the trade that we made for Laramie Tunzel, and that's really it. I think that's like the only move that people are really high on for the most part. A lot of people don't like the Kinlaw move and hosting Michael Gallup, which we haven't signed him. We haven't made a move on him. But we did sign safety Will Harris. I see some people kind of up and down on him. Like, if you look at some of his advanced numbers, they were better than Jeremy Chin's last year. But Jeremy Chin has probably been a better player throughout his career. You could argue that. Now, Will Harris plays corner, plays slot, plays both safety positions for the most part. They lined him up everywhere. So he lined up everywhere. You know, because people are asking me, is it free safety, strong safety? For the most part, a box safety, but he played everywhere. So it's like he can be a chess piece, and I think Dan Quinn, well, I don't think Dan Quinn and Joey Jr. definitely have a plan for him. And they may not be done yet at safety. Now, I know Justin Simmons is interested in playing here, but do we have interest? That's the main thing. I haven't even talked about Jeremy McNichols yet, but I just wanted to announce that they did re-sign Jeremy McNichols to a one-year deal, and we know what Jeremy McNichols did. I know he's going to be remembered for the fumble against the Eagles, returning kicks. I would not have him return kicks. Next year, I would do somebody else, try somebody else out. Maybe it could be, we don't even want to put Eckler back there anymore because of the concussion. So we're gonna have to find a couple of kick returners. Luke McCaffrey does it, but we probably have to put somebody else back there. I mean, we'll give McNichols another chance, but that fumble that is the last memory for him, unfortunately. It really is, and it definitely leaves a bad, sour taste for sure. Just, you know, that's his last play that I remember from him. And he had a good season. Like, he was good in pass protection. He had 68 yards on the ground against the Cardinals and 2 touchdowns, 7 carries for 44 yards and a touchdown against the Browns, 7 carries and 42 yards against the Panthers, 6 carries for 32 yards against the Titans, 5 yards per carry, 7 yards per carry against Dallas, 3 carries and 22 yards. And he had 4.7 yards per carry on the season, 261 yards on the season. And he had 6 runs of 10-plus yards or more, which is pretty good. Like, he had a solid season for a guy who's a third string, battling with Chris Rodriguez, battling for snaps and whatnot. Like, he had a solid season as a third string running back. He did. He had a solid season. Catching the ball, 4 catches for 15 yards against the Eagles, where we beat them 36-33. He only had, how many catches? He had 9 catches for 27 yards on the season. And the only fumble he had on the season was against the Eagles. Like, he didn't fumble through the whole season, and then he fumbled at the worst time possible. So that's the deal with Jeremy McNichols. He's a good player. How old is he? 29 years old. I feel like everybody's 29. Like, everybody's either 29 years old or 30. I think Debo's 29. Laramie Tunzel's 30. Like, everybody's in that 30 years. Will Harris is 29. Like, everybody's like 29 or 30 years old. Everybody's in that same range for whatever reason. Yeah, so that's about it, man. Justin Simmons did go on a podcast and did say he was interested. Now, last year he didn't have a good year. He had a 59.9 PFF grade, 53.8 run defense grade, and a 60.8 coverage grade, 19.8% missed tackle rate. So he didn't have a good year. He didn't have a good year last year for the Falcons. Now, he is a talented player. We know what he's done over the years and things like that. But, you know, maybe he is just aging and he's 31 years old. Maybe he is out of his prime. He did have 2 interceptions last year. So he did do that. He forced a turnover. But everything other than that was pretty mid. And, you know, when we played the Falcons, we moved the ball pretty easily. Like, he was a non-factor in that game. He was a non-factor. He was not the same Justin Simmons that he's been with the Broncos for years and years and years and years. And let me see how old he is. He's probably like 29, 30 years old. As well. He's 31. He's 31. So, Justin Simmons right now, he just doesn't intrigue me. He's not the same guy that he was. Javon Holland, I believe, signed somewhere else. He signed with the Giants. So, yeah. So, Justin Simmons, he made the Pro Bowl with Denver in 2023. Made the Pro Bowl in 2020. So, he's not too far removed from playing well, and like I always say, like people, like I always say, people who didn't have a good season with previous teams or on their last leg of their career, like Zach Ertz, Austin Eckler, Bobby Wagner, you know, they revive their career. So maybe Justin Simmons could come here. But I think after the Will Harris signing, we're not going to bring him in. But, you know, he was on a podcast talking about how he likes Dan Quinn and Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz. They're good leaders. And, of course, bringing up the playoff run we had. I think he did say something about, I don't think he brought up Jaden Daniels at all, which is definitely different. Because people, when they talk about us, you got to bring up Jaden Daniels. But, you know, I get what he was saying for sure. He did have 6 picks in 2022, 3 picks in 2023, and 2 picks in 2024. So he does force turnovers. That's one thing that I will say positive about Justin Simmons. Quarterback rating allowed was 81.9, which is not bad. 59.5 completion percentage allowed, which is pretty good too. Like, that's pretty good coverage right there. Missed tackle percentage 10.1, which is not good. But as far as coverage, like his coverage grades with PFF were bad, but his Pro Football Reference coverage advanced metrics were pretty solid. So, you know, we'll see. I mean, I don't think we bring him in, but he has interest. And there's nothing wrong with competition, but I think they spent the money on Will Harris for the 2-year, $8 million deal. Justin Simmons, it looks like he may have to fool around to take a cheap veteran deal for sure. He was a 3rd-round pick. He's from Manassas, Virginia. I didn't know that. So he's somewhat local, DMV guy from Manassas. So, hey, let's see what happens. What contract is he on right now with the or was he on last year? Let's see how much he made with the Falcons, how much that was. Of course, my computer wants to move a little slow here. He was on a 1-year, $7.5 million deal. So that's basically around what Jeremy Chin got per year and a little bit more than what Will Harris got. So I don't think he's going to get $7.5 million. So he'll probably get like 3 from us, especially the way that Adam Peters has been moving. He spent a lot of money on Javon Kinlaw, though, so I'm not even going to say, like, Adam Peters has been cheap, so that's not fair to say. All right, I do want to read some comments from the last video because I know you guys have been crashing out a little bit here and there and not happy with the moves and whatnot. Let's see here. Read like 2 or 3. Somebody said he's good, fast too. Harris is faster than Chin. We need to get faster. Somebody said, when someone is mid when everyone only talks about their RAS score. Shaking my head. Somebody said, great signing, has speed. As soon as he said it, I had to go check that video of him hitting Lamb. Yeah, he did lay the hammer on CeeDee Lamb for sure. He really did. He knocked out CeeDee Lamb. He didn't knock him out the game, but that was a good hit. All right. So yeah, that's really it. I guess I don't know why I kept seeing somebody. Yeah, King Sway 75. He said, "What are they doing? This has been horrendous so far." Somebody said we will regret not bringing Jeremy Chin back. I can't disagree with you on that. We'll see. And somebody said we need to sign Justin Reed or Justin Simmons. And yeah, so I guess for the most part, it's pretty positive comments here. Pretty positive comments for the most part. So, okay. Yeah, I see pretty positive. I see mixed reviews. I see mixed reviews for the most part. But what I will say is that Adam, yes, I think he hasn't even signed a corner, not one corner. And I think that's where I have a problem, is he has not signed a cornerback. That's where I have a problem. I got to look up the remaining cornerbacks right now. But he's got to get a cornerback in here, man. Like, you got to make a move for a corner. Like, this cornerback room is really bad. Like, really bad. And honestly, I'm not going to say I'm concerned with Marshawn Lattimore being cornerback 1, but from what I saw last year, him being cornerback 1 right now is not good enough. He could be cornerback 1, but we need better alongside him. And a rookie, to rely on a rookie coming in, we'll see. Asante Samuel Jr. is still available. Nick Westbrook-Akina has been signed. So a lot of guys are flying off the board. Darius Slayton went back to the Giants. DeAndre Hopkins back to he went to the Ravens. So not a lot of guys left, man. So we'll see what Adam Peters cooks. But you just got to trust the process, man. We got to trust the process. We have a competent GM now who knows what he's doing. Will he make a trade for a corner? We'll see. Trey Hendrickson is still out there, defensive end. We haven't signed an edge rusher. So there are some concerns so far. It's only day 2 of the tampering period. Free agency officially has not legitimately started where they can actually put pen to paper, but negotiations clearly have started. and he has not come up with a cornerback yet or a edge rusher, and that is concerning. Somebody got released from the Niners. Kyle Juszczyk, I wouldn't be surprised if he signed him, but it's not really necessary to sign him. And if he does, then you might as well just trade Ben Sinnott if you're going to bring in Kyle Juszczyk, in my opinion. We did not get any compensatory picks. Nick Westbrook-Ikhine got a 2-year, $6.5 million deal for $3 million. Yeah, they could have did that. Like, seriously, they could have did that. 2-year deal, $6.5 million. 2 years, $3 million per year. That's crazy low for him. Wow, I'm surprised that he went for that low. Justin Reed went to the Saints, so he's off the board. We already got our safety in Will Harris. Jeremy McNichols to a 1-year deal, and then the 49ers released Leonard Floyd, who had 8.5 sacks last year. So like that's a former 49er who I can see them bringing in because we need another pass rusher. Never mind, the Falcons signed Leonard Floyd. There's so many moves being made. I'm late. I'm a little late, man. I am. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm a little late on some of these moves. Like all these guys get signed so quick. So the well is drying up, man. It's drying up. Like I said, I'm not panicking or anything like that, but like, hey, like we gotta sign an edge rusher. We gotta sign an edge rusher or trade for Trey here. One of the they gotta make something happen. Same thing with cornerback. They gotta make some. Adams gotta make something. He's gotta make a move. All right, guys. As always, hello, Commanders. Peace.